of the Chalked Up March Madness Bracket. I'm your host, Brayden. Alongside me is McGhee. And today we have the West Bracket for you. If you're joining with us from the South, hey, welcome. That was fun, wasn't it? You did not agree with our picks, I'm sure. That's okay. But we have the West here, and I'm sure you will still not agree with most of our picks. But that's okay. Let's just hop into it, though. McGhee, do you have anything to say?
No, I think I'm all good. Let's get into it.
All right, in the West, Florida, there's no explanation here. Just go ahead and do it. If you chose Norfolk State, good luck. This game keeps making me go back and forth, toss my head back and forth. I think Solo Ball and UConn can take down Oklahoma. I don't think Oklahoma has enough depth and enough power to do it.
Yeah, people are picking Oklahoma. I really don't get why. I mean, UConn, obviously, compared to last year's team, they're not as good. But compared to Oklahoma, UConn is still so much better than this Oklahoma team. And they have a lot more options. Still have Dan Hurley as the coach. I mean, I don't see why people would be picking Oklahoma in this one anyway, but I'm going UConn.
All right, next game in the first round, Memphis, Colorado State. This is like the Lipscomb game and Iowa State game where there's a bunch of injuries. This is for Memphis with, I think it's only really one. It's Hunter. And
Tyrese, yeah.
I don't know. I don't think Memphis.
He's to be determined yet.
He's to be determined.
But they still have Haggerty, who is their best player, very dangerous scorer. Colorado State, on the other hand, has Neat Clifford, who is also a dangerous scorer. But Haggerty is prolific, and I think that's enough to get Memphis past them, even without Tyrese Hunter. But if they have both, it should be a cakewalk for Memphis.
Nah, Colorado State. And that's just because I think without Tyrese Hunter, Memphis, yes, they have PJ Haggerty. He's good. He'll carry the team. But I think Tyrese Hunter gives him another leg almost. Does that make sense? Another like, hey, you're right there. If I need you, I'm going to give you the ball. Not much else around the Memphis team. Colorado State, I feel like they feel sound with each other. They feel connected and together, unlike Memphis. So give me Colorado State. Now, if Tyrese Hunter is healthy, give me Memphis in this one.
Yeah.
And then 4-13. Maryland, Grand Canyon. No need to explain. Maryland's amazing.
Yeah, Maryland. Maryland's a good team this year. Very deep.
Then we move on to Missouri Drake. A lot of people have Drake in this game, and I get it. It's an 11 seed. 11 seeds have been unmatched in recent history, but that doesn't do it enough for me. I've chosen Drake in the past 2, maybe 3 brackets. I forget how many it was. Definitely 2. And each time they have lost my trust. Give me Missouri.
Yeah, I've been back and forth on this game too. Analytically, they're giving it to Missouri, but I don't want to fall into that Drake trap, but I'm considering picking Drake. I mean, it's a new coach, a completely new team from the past 2 years, so they could actually win it this year. And Missouri, they're a good team, but they're not one of the better SEC teams. So I think Drake could definitely get them in this game. But for now, I'll give it to Missouri.
All right. Then we move on to Texas Tech, UNC Wilmington. There's no need to explain there. Give me Tech. They're just strong with Toppin and Hawkins. It's unreal.
Yeah.
Kansas, Arkansas, a little bit more conversation when we go into this one. This one's kind of tough for me. But I do have 2 10 seeds winning, and if I want to stay on track with that, I don't think Utah State can beat UCLA. I don't think Vanderbilt can beat St. Mary's. Give me Arkansas over Kansas. Kansas has been a team where they were ranked number 1 preseason. Throughout the season, fell apart. They could never get back there. Then they disappointed in the Big 12 tournament, and it just, I don't know. I have not been super high on Kansas. Arkansas has a roster that is built for a national championship game. They did not play like it. I still don't think they'll play like it, but I think they will at least get past round one.
I think Kansas will win this one. I think they have a lot more options. Arkansas is just like Indiana. They spend millions of dollars on the roster and they don't do anything with it. But Kansas, I mean, I know they've struggled, but I think they still have enough options to win this game. They have Hunter Dickinson. Their point guard is like in his 6th or 7th year or some crap like that. I think Kansas wins this game.
I mean, I could, and when we do our revised one, I could definitely revise it back to Kansas when I figure out some of these injury reports and whatnot. But just due to me having 8 upsets, I'm going to take this one. And then this was one that I heavily debated, but then I kind of thought about it with St. John's and how elite they are on their roster. You can't go against St. John's.
No, I mean, they have a really good coach. They're not a very deep team, but their starting 5 is very talented.
All right, and then we move up to the first game of the second round. Give me Florida over UConn. Florida's just too deep. I know that UConn has a decent team, but Florida has an elite team, and that is what moves me past UConn.
See, I feel like UConn can make some noise here, but I mean, if we're going to be realistic, I guess I'll have to go with Florida on this one. But I could definitely see UConn and Dan Hurley making some noise in this region.
Oh yeah, for sure. For sure. Don't rule that one out. If he chose UConn over Florida, I don't think either of us would be upset with that pick. Colorado State, Maryland. When it comes down to the 12 seeds, over the past 7 years, there's been 8 of them. 6 of them were stopped in the second round. 2 of them were stopped in the Sweet 16, which is, of course, next round. But Maryland is way too good of a team for me to choose Colorado State. Give me the Turtles.
Yeah, I have Maryland too, but they're playing Memphis in this one. I just think they have a lot more options. They're a lot deeper than the Memphis team, and they have Derek Queen on their side. And Memphis has, I don't even know who their big guy is. All I know is they have the 2 guards. So I think Maryland moves on pretty easily.
All right. Then we have Missouri, Texas Tech. Hawkins and Toppin. You can't stop them. Dynamic duo right there.
Yep.
All right, then we move on to this Arkansas St. John's. Like I made in the South video, the point of the 10 seed. 10 of them have moved past the first round. 9 of them have been stopped in the second round. 1 made it all the way to the Elite 8. Arkansas is not the team to make it to the Elite 8 or the Sweet 16. St. John's is too powerful because of the reason of Arkansas not using that roster correctly.
Yeah, I think this will be a close game. I could see Kansas upsetting St. John's here just because of experience. But I like the Johnnies in this game. I think they're good enough to get past Kansas. But I wouldn't be surprised if they lost here.
All right, Florida, Maryland. Like we keep saying, Florida's that elite team. And also, just really quick, I'm sorry on behalf of McGhee's bracket if it is blurry, but at least he's saying his stuff out loud. We'll figure this out eventually. We're just kind of new to this, and we'll figure out how to present this better. But Florida, Maryland, like we said, Florida is the elite team. There's something here that's making me feel like they're going to get tripped up, and I feel like Maryland's a deep team just in general. They are a really good team, and I'm kind of sad not to see them make the Big Ten championship. I think that would have been a good team to win it, but Maryland, I think, is just overall unbelievable.
Yeah, I like Maryland on this one too. Great shooting team. I think they can line it up. Florida's also a good shooting team, but maybe it's time for them to cool down here, and I think Maryland gets them.
All right, and then we move on into the last Sweet 16 game. out of the West, Texas Tech, St. John's. I can't. Toppin and Hawkins they're the two that I have such high hopes for, and I think they will lead Texas Tech onto the Elite Eight.
I think I like St. John's in this one.
I think it'll be a good game either way.
I think it'll be a very good game. I just think St. John's has a better overall player with R.J. Lewis, Big East Player of the Year, and the better coach. I'm sure Texas Tech is a little deeper.
Texas Tech also did ruin Houston's home streak and Big 12 streak this year.
Yeah. I like St. John's three-headed snake in this one to move on.
All right, then we move on to the Elite Eight, and then I will just once again choose Texas Tech. I am so high on Texas Tech, and you'll see that coming into the Final Four, obviously. Toppin and Hawkins together is such a dynamic duo. It is unreal. I haven't seen a duo like this in a hot minute. I'm being honest. You can disagree. Everyone can disagree. I like them.
Brayden Smith and Zach Edey was way better duo than this.
So look at the flag behind them, guys.
No, that's not even why. Don't even look at the flag. Look at what they did last year. They ran through the tournament.
They were pretty good. I'll give you that. But I think Hawkins and Toppin are an elite duo.
No. I think I had Maryland before, but it's Maryland. They tend to choke sometimes, and St. John's is playing really, really good basketball right now. So I'm gonna switch it up, and I'm gonna go St. John's to the Final Four.
Alrighty.
I like it.
So that is our West bracket. I'm pretty sure we are confident with what we have. Just when it comes down to injuries, is Memphis fully healthy? That will switch my Memphis pick. And then Arkansas, Kansas, we'll just have to see depending on other injury updates and upsets. Other than that, I'm pretty sound with my West bracket. This video was a little shorter just because, the West bracket is pretty easy to choose. The South we did have to talk quite a bit about. How do you feel about yours?
Actually, you know what? I think I'm going to make a change here.
Okay, here we go.
I might get made fun of here, but I'm going to do it. Give me UConn over Florida, UConn over Maryland. St. John's still beats UConn in the Elite Eight. I'm doing it. I like it.
Quite the run right there.
I like it. I think it'll happen. I don't trust it.
Well, that's our West region. Stay tuned for the East. See ya.